Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. And today we have a very special topic. Um, for those of you here for the first time, this channel is called the Solutionist Channel. Why, you may ask? It's because this is the channel you come to make sure that you get solution to all or most of your financial problem. Um, all the solutions you might not find here, but at least you're going to find a lead. I try to focus my most of my content on things that are financially based, things that put money in the everyday person's pocket. So most of the content that I bring to you are things that I already tried myself, or it's just a reality I've lived, things that I've experienced, and I was able to solve that problem. And now I'm presenting you with a solution so you don't have to go through what I went through. So today, the topic of the day is how to stop frequent trailer tire blowouts, right? So, I mean, if you're watching this, I believe you have a car hauling business, you have a trailer that is attached to your truck that you're pulling, and you've been experiencing a lot of blowout, and you're wondering what you're going to do about it. Well, let me give you an insight, okay? I've been in the transportation business ever since the days of my pharmacy school days. I've been in the business since about 2012, right? So I've owned big trucks, car hauler trailers, and all kinds of stuff. And I've experienced everything good and everything bad about this business. Okay. So um, one of the memorable things I can remember about tire blowouts was a driver calling me from Minnesota and telling me that they had a blowout and they don't know what to do about the tire, right? And I had to be on the phone and solve the problem some way, somehow. I think I ended up driving all the way to Minnesota to help fix the problem. The second time I could think of was on the way to Iowa when I had just started the company with one of my buddies, and we're driving down to Iowa. We're going to Nebraska actually, and twice in a row, the tires on the trailer blew out. Two consecutive, occasions we had a blowout. And then the last time I can remember was in Illinois. We had just bought our truck, and we're driving from the auction, just doing a test run, picking up a car and dropping off. And on the way, picking up the first car and coming on the highway, we had a blowout and ended up being pulled over by the state trooper because we were trying to make it to the next tire place, but we couldn't because anybody that has experienced a blowout knows what happens. The tire comes off the wheel and it goes downhill from there. So those are my experiences. As you know, if you've experienced this, it's cost a lot of time, it costs money, and it costs you a lot of things as far as your reputation because then clients are disappointed because now you cannot deliver their car on time or pick up their car on time. Cars are stuck on the auction. Your experience, the cars over there stuck in the auction. In some cases, some of them are accumulating auction fees, and this is something that you don't want. And to speak more on this, sometimes you actually endanger the life of people on the road when you have these blowouts, right? Sometimes it's either the life of the driver driving the truck, which is in danger, or the life of the people that are actually on the road driving behind the driver could be endangered when you have a blowout. So, blowout is something serious. It's not something that should be taken lightly, something that any trucking companies should pay full attention to because it could make or break a business because it costs you time, it costs you money, it costs it could cost a life, it costs disappointment, it could cost you your reputation. So it's something that you need to invest in to make sure that it's not a frequent occurrence, right? And in some cases, it could cost you the load, right? And sometimes, like in some instances, like the load is lost because when the tire blows out, the trailer flips over, and because of that, so many things could go south with this situation. All right. So to solve that problem, you need something called right. You need a tire that has a decreased aspect ratio. What is a decreased aspect ratio? A tire with a decreased aspect ratio is a tire with very thick walls. The aspect ratio, when the aspect ratio is high, it enables the tire to be flexible. For example, the tire on an ATV is very flexible. Like when you see the little motor cars that you use in the sand dunes, the aspect ratio is very high on those tires. The tires are able to almost like a balloon, your four wheelers, all those. But when you see a truck tire, the aspect ratio is very reduced, it's very low because the walls of the tire is thick and the tire does not have a lot of wiggle room because it's carrying a lot of load. Aspect ratios are very low because the load on that specific tire is very high. So basically, the association I want you to draw here is that the more load a motor vehicle carries, the lower the aspect ratio of the kind of tires that is mounted on those kind of trucks. So when you see a semi truck, the aspect ratios on their tires are very low, right? And when you see something like a dump truck is even more reduced. And then when you see smaller vehicles that don't carry a lot of load, like the ATVs, the Toyota Corolla, aspect ratios on those are very high, right? So those are one of the things to put into consideration. So to prevent blowouts on your trailer tires, you want a tire with very low aspect ratio. The ability to move, like when they're in turns, is very low. They don't move too much. It's very rigid, right? So so the tires are able to stay firm when you're cornering, because sometimes most of these other tires that are flimsy are mostly like destroyed or compromised when you're making turns, or things that would make the tire move in such a way. Like when the trailers are taking the turns, the trailers move, the walls of the tires are so compromised or undergoing so much stress that sometimes it could disfigure the tire and then lead to a blowout. So you need tires with thicker walls, and then you need tires that are towing rated. And because of the way these tires are built, because they're specifically built for towing, they lead to a longer life. So you have the tire for a longer period of time. And not only that, these tires are able to withstand longer miles. You have some of these tires going as far as 25,000 miles, 50,000 miles. Some of them would even make it up to 100,000 miles and keep going without a blowout. So now, what kind of tire is that? This is something called a load G-rated tire. You want a tire that the load is rated G or more, right? And also, you want the tire to be 14 to 16 ply, meaning the layers of the tire. So you want a tire that is very fortified, that the walls are thick, that is 14 ply to 16 ply trailer tire. That is what you want to put in your trailer to prevent frequent blowouts. These are the kind of tires that are rated. A tire that the load ratings is a G rating, and it has somewhere between 14 to 16 ply or better. Those are the kind of tires you want to put on your trailer, because these tires will last you a year, 2 years, 3 years, 50 to 100,000 miles without a blowout. And that will save you a lot of time, money, headache, and disappointment, right? And now you might ask, where can I get tires like this, right? These tires are pretty easy to get. You could get this tire in from different outlets. You could get it at a truck stop, one of these truck repair centers that in the gas station. You could get it at I said a truck stop. You could get it online. You could have it ordered and dropped off at your office or your address or wherever, and that would be the most cost efficient way to get them. They usually go for somewhere between $800 to $1,000 or more for 6 tires, assuming you have a three-car trailer or one of the trailers with like three tandem wheels. Okay, so that's a tri-axle trailer. Assuming you have a tri-axle trailer, single single wheel tri-axle trailer, that would go 3 tires on this side, 3 tires on this side, making for 6. And the cost of that is somewhere between $800 to $1,000 and up for all 6. And you could get one tire for about $160. That's the average cost. I remember the first time I bought one in Iowa, I thought that was very expensive. But eventually, using this tire, I realized why it was priced so high. because it would last you for a very long time, and you wouldn't have to worry about blowouts and so many other attributes of low ply tires and tires with very a high aspect ratio. So the reduced aspect ratio of this tire makes it the perfect kind of tire for towing and long distance hauling. Okay. And then the next thing I want to talk about is that um, this tire, I remember one time I had put it on my uh, when I finally learned about this kind of tire. I learned about it from the truck stop in Iowa when they showed me when I had a blowout and they showed me the kind of tire I needed. I remember paying about $160 for each, and I thought that was very steep, because I already was running a trucking company that was very strapped for cash, and every dollar mattered, and we couldn't afford, spending this kind of money on. It was almost like a luxury. But at the end of the day, I understood it wasn't a luxury; it was a necessity. It was something you needed to put on the truck because the trailer. Because once you put it, basically it increased the reliability and dependability of the trailer. You had to undergo less blowout, and not only that, it saved you money over a long period of time because you didn't have to change those tires as frequently, right? So that was what I learned. And then eventually, when I started to, business picked up, and I transitioned into staying in the office, and I bought a one-car trailer. I proceeded to put this tire on everything I own. I put it on my one-car trailer, and it lasted for a very long time. It's durable. It's able to take very, very heavy loads. I remember one time I even hauled my Toyota Tundra pickup truck with my two-car trailer, but I was able to do that because it had a tire that was G-rated, and it was 14 ply. I remember this very specifically, and because of its ability to carry very heavy load, I was able to haul with it, right? And even when it was bald, I remember driving this tire all the way till it was bald, right? I drove it, there was no thread left, and still it wouldn't even blow up. I didn't experience any blowout. It kept going. So these tires were very layered in such a way that the possibility of a blowout is very reduced. So you could go a long time. They were built for high dependability and high reliability to be able to go the extra mile for you and the load that you're hauling, so you could get to the money, right? So the question now is, where can you get this tire? Well, I've put a link in the description, right? In the description, you would find the link to this tire, an eBay link, so that you can see the different types of this tire that you can go ahead and order for your trailer, so that you can start saving money on tire blowouts, and so that you can start experiencing less blowouts on your trailer, right? So today, we've talked about how to reduce or stop basically frequent tire blowouts on your trailer tires. It's a problem that a lot of trucking people that just get into the trucking business or the earlier phases they experience. And I made this video to be able to call to people's attention this problem that is costing them a lot of time, money, and headache. So now that you have this information, I hope you're able to use it to your benefit and to your advantage, and change all your tires to G-rated 14 to 16 ply tires that are made for maximum load for car hauling or otherwise. So thank you guys for checking in at another episode of the Solutionist channel, and I'll see you the next time with more content about how you can keep putting money in your pocket and saving while you're trying to maximize profit. Thank you so much once again for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Take care.